Hello, everyone out there in podcast land. This is your golden boy, Trevor Shelby, just doing a before the podcast thing. I'm waiting on Mr. Kennedy to join the show. He said, I'll be there at 6. I'll be there at 6, Trevor. Don't you worry, sir. I'll be there. And I go, oh, that's a good guy. And so guess what? It is 6:07 right now, and Mr. Kennedy has not shown up to the show. As a loyal person who decides to do weird things, I've decided that I'm going to go ahead and start before the show. So I don't know if this will end up on the show or not. If it does, it does. If it does, it doesn't. I don't know. That didn't make any sense what I just said. But I just thought I would go ahead and record a few things. Did you guys know that this show is about to reach season 3? That is incredible. It's probably something we're going to talk about on the show, but I wanted to kind of like mention this because this is something that we probably won't talk about. So typically it's like December 17th is the official start to season 3, but like how we would normally do it. But we've decided just to make it simple. December equals a new season for Carnival Cruising Podcastaways. How cool is that? So coming December to a town near you, we'll be doing a brand new show with a brand new season. It's so exciting. We're not going to change the music, but what we are going to do is maybe change some of the dynamic of the show. We're going to test a little bit of that out for the remainder of the season. So there are some things that we may try out that we're kind of we're putting our little fingers into mini pies here. We have a couple things to reveal to you guys. Controversially, something we've kept from you this whole time. So we'll reveal that on this show. It's kind of humorous to me anyways. So the official start for season 3 is December 2nd. It's going to be so exciting. Thank you all. Actually, just so y'all know, thank you for sticking with us this long. It's incredible. I was going to do something and I forgot to do it. Mr. Kennedy gives me all these tasks and he's like, you go do this. You do it. You do it, damn it, Trevor. And if you don't, I'm going to beat you. I'm going to beat you. And I get beat a lot. It's not great. So, oh man, we've done a lot of episodes. And this is really funny. So we're going to count all the episodes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, I'm going to be counting the episodes. We're going to do a lot of things going on here. You know what? And I always forget to get this show. You know, there's a lot that goes into this show, and I would just like to put it out there. Let's air some grievances for this before Mr. Kinney gets in here and he can do his yelling and shouting at me. You know what? I do a lot for this show. I do the editing. I work with the podcasting hosts. We get our advertisements. I set up everything. I do all the scheduling. I had to hire my own assistant and just to get this done. And you know what? And Mr. Kennedy, he's like, I'll be there at 6 p.m. So I'll be there. And guess what? It is now 6:12. It is 6:12 now. What is going on? This is ridiculous. Look at what kind of show is this? Like, do you think Ed McMahon ever showed up late to the Tonight Show? Do you think that ever happened? Huh? Or what about the announcer guy on The Price is Right? Do you think he calls Drew Carey and he's like, hey, Drew, I'm going to be there at 6. And they're like, all right, we're going to do The Price is Right. And guess what? No, they're not doing The Price is Right. Hashtag where's Thomas for sure. Man, we need some more voices on this show, don't we, guys? So I'm going to start taking applications here soon. Man, anyways, Oh, he's gonna be so mad when you know what? Let's be real. I say he's gonna be so mad when he listens to this. He's not gonna listen to this. Do you think Tom goes back and listens to this show? No, he doesn't. Yeah, whatever. He might say he does, but we'll see. Don't give him a heads up either. We won't. Yeah, because you know, then that'll just ruin it. So. Or you might be like, we should all say something random to Mr. Kennedy. What could it be? Let's lay off the burritos, okay? And all fun, the burritos is fun, but he will get mad. So let's not do burritos. Let's say, Mr. Kennedy, do you love jelly beans? And just we're gonna post that. I'll make a post on the Facebook page that says, what is Mr. Kennedy's favorite things? And you'd be like, Mr. Kennedy, is it jelly beans? And I want everyone to ask, is it jelly beans? And that would be hilarious to me, only to me. And so I'll play this back on the next episode for Mr. Kennedy to listen to, and he'll be like, what in the heck are you doing? And by the way, thank you, Gary. You know, I think I saw that shade that Madison was throwing your way. I forgot to mention that last episode. We had a talk with her, a little fine tuning, and so we should have that nipped in the butt a little bit. She got a little jealous you were posted on there on that Facebook page over at facebook.com/Carnival Cruising Podcastaways. You know, that's the only podcast where we talk all about Carnival, and there's none other like us. None. Huh, look around. Huh, where are they? Huh, nowhere, because we're the best. So everyone that's decided that they were going to make one, we're like, oh, yeah, never mind. There's already the greatest out there. Other people have tried to do their own podcast. And I will say, after looking in on some of those podcasts, I'm like, well, that didn't last long. And for others, they were like, you know what? Some people are doing great in the podcasting world when it comes to cruising. Some not so well. You know, often imitated, but never duplicated. That's what I say for us. So... I don't know, man. Honestly, this is my ramblings in my mind. This is how my mind works. I just want you guys to realize that this is me unfiltered, and I can't get enough of it, man, because this place is so cool. I'm having a fabulous time here with Carnival Cruising Podcastaways. I'm so energized for season 3. There's so many things I'd like to do, some more effort I would like to put into the show. I've been writing this book forever, but I'm almost there. And so I really don't know, man. And at some point, Mr. Kennedy will join in this show.
Whatever.
Oh, there he is. Oh, look who decided to show up.
What the hell?
Oh.
Did you actually start the show?
No, this is the show before the show. So, and it just ended. Thank you guys for joining us. We've got to start Carnival Cruising Podcastaways. Thank you for listening to my ramblings. Continue them next week when Mr. Kennedy says he'll show up, and then he waits. Wait, let's see. 17 minutes to show up. Anyways.
It's not my fault. She showed up later than I thought.
Mm-hmm.
She said 5:30 and it ended up being like 5:50.
Everyone, and welcome to Carnival Cruising Podcastaways, the podcast where we talk about anything and everything Carnival Cruising related. My name is Trevor Shelby, and joining on this crazy cruising adventure is my good friend Thomas Kennedy.
Woo! I'm dizzy now. Wow, I don't know.
Well, you were
didn't know that. I don't remember headbanging making me dizzy.
Yeah,
I guess it's the difference between being 47 and 17.
Yeah. Well, Very well could be. Oh man, how have you been this week?
I've been pretty good.
Yeah.
Did my second job 2 days in a row. They didn't have anything for me, so
Oh, yeah?
I got paid for sitting on my butt.
There you go.
So, yeah. Well, actually, yesterday they gave me one package to deliver.
Nice.
Yeah, they were assigning one package to each driver. So, but other than that, this week has been, this is Wednesday. I got back to the house to the apartment on Sunday, because that's when Brian and Shelley got back from the graduation of Trent.
Okay.
I did post pictures of a screenshot of the end of the graduation where I saw Brian and Shelley and Trent hugging Addie, which proves that Trent loves Addie.
Oh, we have video evidence.
Yes.
Oh man. Well, it's been a busy week for me, and we're working on a couple things that might be adopting a new cat. So here soon.
You don't need a new cat. You guys got like 30 cats, 50 chicken, 18 dogs.
I need all the chicken to feed the cats.
I'm sure there's a duck somewhere.
Oh God, no! I don't want a duck. But you know what? Now I've got 3 cats, but this will make 4. But
I mean, the last cat ran away.
Baby is missing an eyeball, and I love her.
The last cat you tried to adopt ran away.
It did. I was very sad about that. How dare you bring that up, sir? I'm gonna cry.
Sorry, man. I mean, I'm just. It didn't want to live with the grown cats.
Yeah, well, it did too. So, anyways, we've got quite a bit going on this week, don't we? For this wonderful episode.
Do we?
Yeah, we do. We have actually a first time ever. We're gonna have Madison on the show.
Oh,
so
let's hear it from Madison.
Woo! There we go. And we'll get to that soon. We do have a nice, interesting tidbit about Madison here soon that we'll talk about. But we also, I think we got some pretty cool stuff coming up as well later in the month on the 28th of October at 6 p.m. Guess what's going on?
We're going to have a costume contest.
A costume contest? Oh my God. Between Podcastaways and friends?
Yes.
Oh my God. It's going to be so great.
My costume's going to be awesome.
Dude, mine's going to blow yours out of the water.
Whatever.
Dude, and you know what? You know what's funny is I heard that maybe one of our new and old interns might be joining us for that episode.
Really?
Yeah. And I hear they have pretty killer costumes as well. I heard just the other day, I heard them both talk up a pretty mean game on their costumes.
Whatever.
We'll see. We will see.
I'm this is what I'm suggesting.
Mm-hmm.
We do the intro, and while we're backstage, we just cut off our cameras until we keep the microphones on so everyone can hear us.
Yeah.
Then we count down 1, 2, 3, and we all show our costumes all at the same time.
Oh, that's a good idea. So, or we could do one at a time where we introduce ourselves as our character, whatever we're doing. So I think that might be fun as well.
Yeah, that could be. Yeah, that could be interesting.
We can reveal each person as we go. Might be fun. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with that.
No, not at all. At 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, October 28th, join us on Facebook Live and YouTube Live. Definitely join us, facebook.com/Carnival Cruising Podcastaways. This is going to be a lot of fun. So we're geared up and excited. And I wanted to bring up, and we talked about Madison earlier. I did want to bring up, I noticed she was throwing some shade towards Gary, which was kind of weird.
Well,
is that not weird to you?
Kind of. I mean, we can't help the fact that Gary is better than Madison.
Yeah, well, she might have something to say about that. She might give you some computer problems. So, well, Madison, just so everyone knows, Madison, we've kept this from everyone purposefully just because we thought it was a funny running joke.
But it's been 2 years now, so
yeah, well, it's been a while. I don't know if it's been 2 years, but with Madison, but it's been a while with Madison. So Madison is actually an AI. And she is actually joining us on this show for season 3, but we're trying out some stuff here. And so she wanted to be a part of things, threatened. She's seen my search history.
Like I said, like I've told you before, have you not seen Terminator or Donnie Darko or anything where AI takes over the world?
Yeah,
she could be the mother of the T-800.
She could be.
And you could be the reason why Arnold comes back to 1985 to kill John Connor.
Yeah.
I mean,
she threatened me with my search history. So she's part of the show now. Just saying. But we do have some interesting ways of integrating Madison into the show. Yeah, hey, and if you don't believe us, you'll kind of see if you believe us after this episode. So there are some exciting things. We've discussed this, Mr. Kitty and I, and we're talking about season 3. We have decided that December marks the beginning of seasons now. So
our anniversary was in December anyway.
It was like December 17th or something along those lines. I will say our official count right now, episode wise, this is episode 98.
Really?
Yes.
So like we have 2 more episodes and we hit episode 100.
So the episode 100 will be our Halloween event. Just so you know. Don't know how that worked out. But
I think you figured this out before we talked yesterday.
Yeah, I didn't actually. I was just talking about it on the pre-show and we were doing a count. So I got the official count, and that includes all episodes of the show. So any best ofs that we've done and stuff as well. But that's an official count. So that's the way it goes. That's the way the cookie crumbles, as they say. But
that's the way the cookie crumbles.
Yes. But anyways, this episode, we're going to be talking about some interesting things with Key West. Very reminiscent of episode 2 of our show.
I mean, I don't think we've done it since the first season.
Yeah. So we wanted to kind of go over Key West and talk about some things and update some things as well with what's going on with Key West. We bring up Key West here or there a little bit, but this show is going to be pretty much all about the old Key West. But first, I think, Mr. Kennedy, you had something you wanted to cover as well.
Yeah, it's another one of those, John Hill complaints.
Ooh.
Yeah, these, it's a person who's complaining that there's not a business center on the ships anymore for people who have to who are on vacation and are working while they're on vacation, which to me, a vacation, you're not working. It's called a vacation. You're supposed to take time off of work. Mm-hmm. They're like, 70% of the people work remotely. Well, yeah, you may be working remotely, but I don't want to work when I'm on a cruise.
Yeah, but we do have some friends that actually do that. So.
Yeah, we do. I mean, but it costs them an arm. Costs them probably more than what they get paid. To work to just to get the internet.
Well, I will say that internet package is what it is, but I don't think it would be that fun to work on a cruise. Now, I will say that that's something Megan's done. She's done conferences on cruises where she spends every sea day a good portion of the day, like 9 to
But
5.
that was that was a booked thing.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't, she did it for CE credit, but then she also got asked to work,
Yeah.
and so, but this is, someone actively, just bringing their work from home onto the ship and
Yeah.
working,
Well, they're getting paid. So while they're working, they're on a boat.
Well, I get paid too whenever I'm on the boat.
Yeah, but you're taking vacation time. They might be saving their vacation time.
That this person said she's on vacation.
Well, then that's their own weird problem. But a lot of people that do it, they're not on vacation. They're actually on a boat working their job. So, but I will say, you don't need a business center to work on a ship. All you need is your laptop anymore, and connect to the Wi-Fi, and you're good to go. I mean, are they expecting Carnival to provide the computers and printers and all kinds of things?
Her actual words are, with 70% of Americans working remotely and working on vacation too. I'm sorry, if I'm on vacation, I am not communicating with work.
Yeah.
Because I actually had a job once that said that tried to call me in while I was on vacation, and they did this every time I was on vacation. I'm like, no, because I don't get it back.
Yeah, I get that. I also I get people wanting to work while on a ship. So,
I don't. There's too much shit going on.
Yeah, but I mean, like, everybody's different though. Like, everybody's got a different thing going on. So I mean, they.
Well, I mean, the whole point of vacation is to relax.
Yeah, for you, but for them, they're wanting to work. So I don't know what to tell you. You can't tell it.
That's not a vacation. If you're working, you're working. You're not on vacation.
Yeah, but they may not be on vacation, really. They're just on a ship.
So anyway,
I'm just saying, I get it, but I don't get what their complaint really is. They don't need a business.
Well, they want a business center because for access to printers and stuff like that.
Now that's a little far. I can understand everything else. Save it as a PDF on your computer and move on. What are you going to need to print something for while you're on a ship? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Fax it to Bill in the office? Use email. That's like the thing now. So I don't know if you've heard.
And printing the PDF is easier than printing from a printer.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I don't know why you would need that. But anyways, that's whatever, their life. I don't get telling Carnival to have that, but I get it though. I get people that want to work on a cruise. If I could pull that off, if I could work on a cruise, if I could do my job on a cruise, I would do it. I'd be on a ship a lot more often than I am now. I would work my 9 to 5, and at 5 o'clock I'd log out. I'd be having my Bahama Mama in one hand, and I'd be in the conga line and just having a grand old time, man. So, for the very first time, would you like to introduce our newest golden gal?
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please welcome Madison Goldie Intern.
Hey there, listeners of the Carnival Cruising Podcastaways. I'm Madison, your AI Golden Gal, and I'm super excited to be here with our fabulous hosts, the Golden Boys, Trevor and Tom. I've got some fantastic questions lined up for you two today, all about the incredible island of Key West. So let's dive in, shall we?
Yes, Madison, let's go ahead and dive in.
Yeah, let's go. Come on.
Awesome. First up, I've got to know, What was your first impression of Key West, and how has it changed over time?
Well, that's a good question, Madison. I think my first impression of Key West was because from the ship, like when you see it, when you first come into port, to me, I'm just I'm kind of overwhelmed a little bit because it's so nice. It's so beautiful there. It's one of my favorite places to be. It is my absolute favorite stop. I don't know about you, Mr. Kennedy.
It is one of mine too. I mean, I love it. I mean, you get there and you're still in the United States, so you don't have to, worry about did I do something to offend another culture, because they are our culture. They
Right.
are our laws. So, you know what the laws are because you're in the same country.
Yeah.
All the history there is just great. I love it.
Some of the stuff that about Key West, and some of the things that there's not much that's changed over time, really, that I can tell. Anyways, this island is kind of timeless, and also, I mean, it's very touristy, so there's a lot going on. When one ship visits that island, it seems to get flooded pretty quick. So, I mean,
Yeah.
so I mean, there's a lot of people that unload on there. So I don't know. I've really enjoyed. They have a good roads. They've got a good infrastructure kind of set up. One thing I don't like is the parking.
The parking is pretty bad, even with the electric cars.
Yeah.
The golf carts, because I mean, there is no parking lots. It's all street parking, and there are thousands of people daily.
Yeah, but my first impressions, though, I mean, it's a nice, clean, beautiful island. Lots of history there. And and over time, it's my only change in thought while I'm there is, what am I going to do now? Because I've done so many things on this island. So,
well, I mean, there is probably stuff that you don't know about yet.
exactly. That's what the beauty of the place.
Madison, our next question.
Great insights. Moving on, let's spill some tea. Can you share a hidden gem in Key West that most tourists might not know about?
I actually have one.
Ooh, do you?
Yeah, I read about it not too long ago, and I was actually going to tell Amanda and Josh last time they were in Key West about it.
Yeah.
It's the Little White House. Harry S. Truman actually has a house on or near the Navy base. It's called the Little White House. There's a replica of the Oval Office there, but that was like his Kenny Buttport, like for the Bushes and stuff like that. That's where he went on vacation. That's where they signed the Key West Agreement, which is what united the Department of the Navy and the Department of War into the Defense Department, and several other things. It used to be an officer's quarter back in the 1800s, and then he took it over, and they do museum tours and stuff like that. It starts at $22.95, and then there's the White Glove tour that holds up to 6 guests, which is, I guess, is a VIP tour. It's $645.
Nice.
And then there's a museum, trolley, and shipwreck museum package, which is $95 per person.
Oh.
Or sorry, $90.54 per person, I should say.
Yeah.
But there's a couple more tours here, but those are the most, I think, the most interesting.
Yeah. I would say my hidden gem, and it's not that hidden, but I mean, it's a lot of people don't know about it. If you go down to the butterfly, and this isn't my gym, the butterfly experience where you go in and you look at all the butterflies and all that. If you keep going south, okay, from that, a lot of people go to this butterfly thing. I went, it was a lot of fun. 1 billion people there. So keep going south. It's just like a little bit over, you can find the southernmost point bar. And this bar is fantastic. They've got usually like a southernmost point bar. There's like a food truck there. serving like really good food. And then they have the bar itself. It's outdoor seating, usually beautiful weather. The actual southernmost point is within like spitting distance. But the cool thing is there's a huge line to get a picture there, but you could just take a picture at the southernmost point bar because they have their own southernmost point buoy. And so and you just get your picture there. That's what I did. We walked over and we looked at the line to go get a picture at the buoy, and we were like, and we walked back to the bar and proceeded to just take a photo there.
I remember the last time I went, I tried to go to the buoy. We drove there, and there was no place to park. The line was huge. I was like,
yeah,
this key lime pie time.
Yeah. So at some point, I think we need to do a maybe like a multiple day trip to Key West.
That'd be amazing.
And I think that'd be a lot of fun, and I really explore the island that way as well.
I'm just really sad that my favorite place that we went is gone. You know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's why I didn't bring that one up too. So,
I mean that was a nice little pub.
Yeah, there was a pub. It used to be that there's still something there, but we haven't like gone there, so I can't really endorse it just yet. Yeah. But it was a pub that was on the backside of Hemingway's.
Yeah, house. Hemingway's house. Yeah,
and we actually had one of the special cats with the extra toe actually come and sit with us, and there's a really nice lady there that was telling us about her life on the island. It was really cool, man. If we were doing the podcast back then, we would have broke out our recording gear and just talked to her like all day. She
would have been an awesome guest.
Yeah, so she lived a very unique life. So yeah, very cool gal. But anyways, Madison, what you got?
Ooh, that sounds like a must visit. Next question. Any tips on where to find the best key lime pie in town?
Kermit's.
Yeah, 1000% Kermit's. Yeah, that was easy, man, because our first visit, my first visit, I don't know if you'd been to the island before me.
No, that was both of our first visits.
Yeah, so we got that electric car. Yeah. And we hit up some key lime pie all around town, and what's funny is we talked to several people all along the way. We said, man, where do you get the best key lime pie here?
I mean, I'd heard of
everyone.
I had heard of Kermit's, but there was also other places, while I was doing my research, like Sloppy Joe's and all this stuff. But everyone said Kermit's. Yeah. Now, I don't know what your sister is smoking, saying that Kermit's is not the best.
Yeah. I question their judgment and sanity.
I question if you guys are related.
Yeah, me too. If it wasn't for the fact that we kind of look alike, But seriously though, like I don't get it. But the last time I had Kermit's, I actually, and this is a little known fact. If you go to, I think it's an ice cream shop that's right by the pier. Mm-hmm. They have a refrigerator or freezer in there, and they have the frozen the key lime pie on a stick. Yeah, with its chocolate dipped. And it's so good. So good. I actually recorded a bit of it on my blog. If I have time, I'll splice it in here just to show you guys like the fan. The whole time I'm like, Tom, I wish you were here.
I don't think I've ever had the chocolate dipped ones. I think I had it with topped with like raspberry, I think. And man, that was amazing.
Yeah, it was so good. And I do have Kermit's, so that was the bonus.
I mean, I do know how to make it, the Kermit's recipe. So I could technically make it myself.
Exactly. Well, that's the cool thing about Kermit's is they give
you the recipe.
They're trying to put themselves out of business. Okay, that's what they're doing.
I don't think that's what it is. I think what it is they know that it won't survive a trip in the mail. So, and they know that people can't come and visit them all the time
Right.
unless you live on the island. So they want, so they want them to have some way of having a good key lime pie.
Yeah. Well, I will say that when you go into port, since you have Google access to maps and all that stuff, when you get into port, just Google the Kermit's key lime, and it'll actually pop up with that little shop right there in port.
Yeah,
where they're selling it there too. But yeah,
but if you can't just go to the one into that ice cream shop, you actually have to go to Kermit's and get your picture taken with Kermit.
Yeah, exactly. And that's really cool too. I really like that.
Oh yeah, he's a great guy.
So the other thing is like when you get it in a pre it's already made, it's already been dipped, and it's selling in every shop. Yeah, who knows how old it is. So the one I got was fantastic, but I'm just saying, could have been there for a couple months.
Now
the ones at Kermit's are fresh.
Now I'm thinking, would I like cut it and after it sets and then stick the stick in it, or would I stick the stick in it before I have it set up, like through the pan, or I don't know how I would do that.
Oh, I see what you're saying. You could actually. This is how I would do it. I would put it in the freezer. Are you talking about freezing it and putting sticks and then cutting it?
Yeah.
Okay. So I would put it in the freezer and let it harden up just a little bit, and then I would put the stick in it, and I would cut it, put the stick in it, and it's not gonna like.
Well, see, I was like thinking, use I usually use the pre-made graham cracker crust, but making an actual graham cracker crust in a springform pan and letting it set and then popping that ring, and then I can just stab it.
Yeah. Sorry, I hit myself. Anyway, I didn't mean to.
Back there.
So, anyways, I don't know. You sound like you got it figured out. It is a very easy recipe. The hardest thing is if you want to squeeze your own key limes, I recommend getting a lime squeezer. So I highly recommend it.
Or get a juicer.
Yeah, you could do that as well, but or
you could just
hand squeeze.
order Kermit's key lime juice.
You could. Or while Walmart's selling key limes for like $1 a bag, you could just go do that too. Man, key limes, man, nobody buys them. So they just sit there and they try to get rid of them. And man, I've gotten some very cheap key limes that way.
But you also risk them already drying out.
Yeah, I always get plenty of juice out of them. But anyways.
But yeah, this recipe is only like what, three or four ingredients. I can't remember.
Yeah, they've got an easy to make recipe. They also have a more complicated recipe if my memory serves me right. Okay, so Madison, what else you got for us?
I'm definitely adding that to my foodie bucket list. All right, so how do you guys like to explore the island? By foot, bike, scooter, or something else?
Electric car.
Yeah, electric car or by foot. I mean, if like right now, like I don't know like how much I could hoof it around that island, but in my younger days, man, running all over that island was not a big deal. It's not that big of an island.
Well, it's not that big of an island, but the first time we went, I was actually recovering from knee surgery, which is why we actually did that.
Mm-hmm.
Got the electric car, which I'm glad we found out about it, because otherwise I would have been stuck.
Yeah. Well, I've walked from the pier to the southernmost point in the very hot heat. It was a very, very hot day there. And I will say I wish I had an electric car that day. But the other thing is, and what's funny is like Sandra, Amanda, and I think my mom, they all Ubered back. They got an Uber.
They called an Uber.
Yep. They
I
came
mean,
and got them.
well, it has to be really cheap because you're on an island that's like 3 miles long.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad. But we wanted to we had a plan in place. I was videoing that day and we did not partake in the Uber. So we went a different way back to the ship. That's the other thing I like is, one of the first times that I was on the island, I did have some walking time, and I actually walked through this one area that was there was a bunch of, it was kind of a pier area where they had tons and tons of boats. It's a marina, I guess.
Yeah.
Tons and tons of boats. There was like a little local place that was just a bar that they had a lunch menu that was out front, and I was looking at their lunch menu, and it was like really well priced. So I got fish and chips, and it was a good deal. I think I only spent like $10, and it was a giant plate of fish and chips. And so I was like, man, like I found kind of like a nice hidden gem, but I don't know if the place is still there or not. But
you see, that's one of the good things. See, this is what a lot of people don't understand is, like we're landlocked, and so we have to have our seafood and fish like flown in, unless you catch it yourself from a lake, which is freshwater. So, and it's expensive, and then we go to like a coastal area and it's cheap.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh, so I would rather, like if I'm on, on a cruise or on vacation, I would much rather get seafood.
Yeah. So what was it? Oh, well, and then on top of that, what our business plan is for when we retire,
yeah,
we're going to have our own fishing ship. Fishing boat.
we're gonna be we're gonna be fish guides, and on our boat have we changed the amount of time or
no
so over 50 years of experience doing other things.
I think that's a great thing.
Yeah.
I think it's a great title.
It is. That's copyrighted, by the way, guys.
Yeah So this is not a bad deal. So what else you got for us, Madison?
Love it. You guys know how to adventure in style. Last but not least, paint us a picture. What's a typical day in the life look like for you guys when you're in Key West?
So for me, I would say I like what I did my last time I was there, and this is how I'm going to do Key West probably going forward, is I'm going to go to this island with a plan. So I'm not going to get a tour. I'm not going to get an excursion. I'm going to have a plan of where I'm going to go. And it could be as simple as I'm going to go to Tony D's and I'm going to park my butt in a chair and get drunk. Or I'm going to go down to the butterfly thing and I'm going to go down to the southernmost point and I'm going to walk around and see Hemingway's. So that's my whole day is just kind of navigating where I'm going to be. And I'll have that already kind of pre-planned. So I'll know what streets I'll be hitting.
Well, my day, me as we've already done Hemingway and all that, I'm actually going to try, make my way down to that little White House and see what that's all about. Cause it seems pretty interesting. I'm really interested. I really like, history, and this is a lot of history. And also, I'll make my way back to Kermit's, maybe get some lunch somewhere, and then on my way back to the ship, I will try the frozen chocolate covered Kermit's key lime pie at the ice cream place it's probably in the duty free area, but
it is.
There's also a candy shop next to
on the end.
There's also a candy shop there that I like to visit and get some like chocolates from around the world.
Yeah.
Which hopefully this time I won't forget about it and it won't melt. Like last time I was there, I was like, all the chocolate melted because I forgot about it.
Yeah.
And the next day we were in like, I think it was the Bahamas or something.
I was going to say probably the Bahamas. Where else are you going?
And it was hot, and I forgot that I left it in my backpack.
Yeah, it happens, man. You know, I've bought candy there, and I've also bought it in the Bahamas. And one thing I like to do is give my room steward some candy. And so usually they're very appreciative. I know that that's something typical that they get. They probably are like, oh my God, another guy gave me candy. But I think it's a nice gesture just in case. Sometimes, you know, you can kind of hit up your room steward and say, hey, man, I'm going to visit the candy shop. You want me to grab you something? You don't have to pay for it. I'll buy it for you. And sometimes you might get an order that way as well. But get them something they want. But yeah, so and if nothing else, a typical day for me there is bliss because I've never had a bad time in Key West. So
I haven't either.
So,
but I mean, so far my favorite spot, you know, and that may change, you know, but is Hemingway's house. I really like that place.
Yeah, you know, I've been to Hemingway's twice, and it's one of those things. It's like, man, I could go another time.
Yeah,
I could go one more time.
I mean,
it's not going to change, but
I mean, it's not
cool.
It's not the Hemingway house in Cuba where he, you know, and tried to kill himself. No, or actually committed suicide. Actually, he did.
Yeah, but do we have to bring that up?
Well, I mean, you know, people might get that, you know, think that because everyone knows that he committed suicide.
Yeah, that's true.
Know?
Well, I will say that the time I was there, the last time I was there, it was kind of funny. One of his descendants of his cats was actually laying on his bed, and
one was laying on his bed too.
Yeah. And I thought that was a pretty cool deal. I do like kind of going through the house, seeing all the movie posters and all that. And he has a big swimming pool.
I really want to jump in that pool so bad.
Yeah. So that's just one of those things that it would be cool to go again. But it's one of those things that I would probably have to find somebody who hasn't been to justify myself for paying the admission fee and going back in. So
what you're saying is, hey, Reese, come on, man. You need to go to Key West with us.
Reese. Hey, has Gary been? I wonder. Gary,
probably.
Question of the week. Has Gary been to Hemingway's house? So inside of it, Gary, have you been inside?
Not just taking a picture of the outside that says $13 for adults and $5 for children.
That was like our first visit there.
Yeah, I know. I don't know how much it is now. I don't know how much it is now.
That was our first visit. We were like, hey, do we really need to go in?
No, we don't need to go in. And then like the second time, we're like, let's actually go in.
Yeah, let's do it this time. It was really funny. We were so like defiant. We're like, $13. That's ridiculous.
I'm not paying for that. And then it's like, this is actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
That sounds like a day well spent in paradise. Thanks for sharing, guys. And there you have it, folks. Your Golden Boys just gave you the insider scoop on Key West, and I couldn't be more thrilled to have been part of this fun chat. Until next time, this is Madison, your AI Golden Gal, signing off.
Well, thank you, Madison. That was fantastic. You did a great job. I'm very proud of you. You had a little bit of an echo there, but we'll forgive you. It'll take a while to get your microphone and everything set up correctly. So I think that was great. You did a good job.
I still think it's funny that we didn't. I found the picture of the second time when we actually went into the thing. It was actually at your wedding.
Oh yeah.
Right down the street from Hemingway's house, there's this white wall with a plaque that says "Love Muscle House, established 1892." I'm trying. For years I've been trying to figure out what this is.
Mm-hmm.
Is it an old red light district house? You know, a house of ill repute. Because everyone knows what the love muscle is, but you know, back in 1892, it could have meant something else. I don't know.
I don't know either. Maybe they love muscles, so they'd ask me to come in. They'd be like, "Trevor, come on in, buddy," and I'd be like, "Yeah."
Right.
That's what I do.
Something's been popping up all week.
The love muscle.
Not the love muscle. No. on my memories.
Sorry.
On my memories. On Facebook, something has been popping up all week, and it's
What's that?
your bachelor party.
Oh yeah. That's really funny.
I mean, we lost you.
Yeah,
we thought
you did.
we had a hangover moment because we lost the groom.
Yeah. Well, okay, that guy kept trying to give me Fireball, and I told him, dude, I'll be sick. Dude, I will be sick. And he kept buying Fireball. And I was like, dude, I will be sick. And then
And
I
you
was
met some
like,
dude named Ralph, and he,
yeah. Oh my God. You won't believe it. That hotel is lucky I made it to my room. Okay. That's all I gotta say. I remember I was just gonna go to the bathroom there on the floor, like on the ground floor. Like I was just gonna go there. I thought maybe if I throw up in there, like, or maybe I could get some breath and like maybe I won't throw up. You know what I mean? But when I stood up, it was a moment I stood up from that table. I was like,
oh no,
I'm done.
nope.
And so I walked straight to the elevator in the most straight line I could do. And I got in that elevator. I went up to the whatever floor. And I remember there was an old lady that was on the elevator with me. And she was trying to talk to me. And I remember I just flat ignored her. She probably thought I was the rudest person on earth. And doors open. I get to my room. And I had to run for that bathroom. And
I still want to know what happened to
I
Betty. You
lost
popped her.
Yeah, well,
you popped. I want to know how you popped Betty.
Secrets. I'm just saying secrets. So, but no, like seriously though, I was not okay. And I remember after I got done throwing up, the room was spinning. And I thought, well, if I lay down for a minute, and then I remember just passing out. So,
I mean, I remember we're like, where's Trevor? We haven't seen. He said he's going to the bathroom, but we haven't seen him. And went and checked, and he ain't there. And went around to some machines. I'm trying to. You weren't any of the machines. And I was like, hey, Sandra, you know where your brother is? He's like, no, I'm kind of worried. And then I was like, I'm kind of worried too, because I've seen The Hangover. She's like, I have too. And then she's like, I'll check the room. And she goes upstairs and sends me a picture of you, hugging the porcelain god.
Yep.
We did our job.
Was not good, man.
We did our job. It was great.
Anyways, thank you guys for listening today. Definitely go over to our Facebook page over at facebook.com/Carnival Cruising Podcastaways. We have the Facebook page and we have a group as well. Join them both. That's how you get to level 1 of the It's Not a Wink Wink cult. And also, then you can go to our Speak Pipe page over at speakpipe.com/Carnival Cruising Podcastaways. And you can also leave us a voice message there if you wish. I didn't check this week. If you left one, I'm sorry. We'll get to it next week. And then also, if you have any questions or any ideas for future shows, let us know over at the Facebook page, man. We've got some interesting topics, and Madison is just itching to do this because she feels like Gary's really kind of like, stepping into this whole social media thing. And I'm like, look, Gary he's not doing anything. And she just keeps bad mouthing him. I don't know what to say. I'm surprised she didn't say something earlier, but I got her on mute now, so nobody can really hear her. So,
I mean, after almost 2 years of doing this, we want you guys to actually tell us what you guys want now, because we're Do you know how long it takes us to come up with stuff? It takes us like a week just to come up with a topic.
Yeah. I mean, we're back to Key West, guys. That was episode 2. But, you know, we understand also there's only so much, you know, cruising stuff you can really go over. And we're going to revisit topics. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
And, you know, time goes on and, you know, things change. And so we want to keep you guys updated. And since this is the crazy thing, since episode 2, we've been back to this island. We've had different experiences. And
I haven't. You have.
Well, I have. But I mean, like, there's things that have changed, and we want to bring it up. And so that's the way it's going to go, guys. So, anyways, just know that you are unique, you are special, and you are loved.
And remember, if you want to get jiggy with it on your balcony, there are cameras and they are watching. Bye.
Shave the fishbowl tables. Bye-bye. See ya.
Later.
Oh.